calling out Americans and specifically Black Americans and being like, why aren't you guys standing up for us? We did it in Black Lives Movement. As an Afro-Latino, myself, we have to hold accountability for our actions.
Black people, because y'all are quick to forget what country you guys flee to shelter when you were slaves. You're quick to forget when Black Lives Matters movement was happening, who was right there next to y'all.
I can guarantee that it wasn't you, boo-boo. Most of y'all like to parrot this one talking point about Mexico, but never talk about how slavery was abolished by a Black indigenous president. Latinos largely voted for your own oppression, and now you have the audacity to think the Black community is obligated to help you fix what you broke. Latinos, the call...
We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. You hear me? It's coming from inside the house.
Fix your own house, Latinos.
Oh, hi. Now, we have been posting these videos of Latinos crying, white people crying about their choice, what they did in an election. And, you know, it's not that we love posting them. It's not that we are happy of what they're going through. But sometimes it's just remind you that we are the same, Blacks and Latinos, Black people and Latino community. And sometimes we need to work together. Just a reminder that we need to be together. That's it. And a lot of Latinos now understand that the importance of Black people in the community. And two, Black people understand the importance of Latinos in the community. Understanding the importance of Asian community, understand the importance of immigrants in America, because all of this, maybe in one way or the other, they are going the same problem. Now, there is these videos where Latinos have come out and they have told their people, their community, to stop accusing Black people, because there's videos where Latinos have come out accusing Black people for not helping them.
Why is nobody else protesting with us? We're not the only immigrants.
Some of them are being racist towards Black people. We don't celebrate the downfall of our fellow people. Latinos community, they are our fellow people. Yeah, because all of us, we are going through the same oppressor. But you may find like some of them, they want to be close to white people. But at the end of the day, we are all the same. Now, I want to share with you these videos of Latinos asking their own people to respect Black people, not to say Black people are not of help and they need bear the fruits of what they planted. Let's watch these videos and then we'll come back again and talk some sense on it, as we do always. I love you.
Hi, my name is Leandro. You guys might know me by this video. And I just want to say something to the Latino population who keeps coming to TikTok and saying, no, calling out Americans and specifically Black Americans and being like, why aren't you guys standing up for us? We did it in Black Lives Movement. As an Afro-Latino, myself, we have to hold accountability for our actions. 60% of our people voted for that guy, voted for these deportations. Many of your family members voted for this guy, even though they knew you were maybe LGBTQ, maybe you were trans, maybe you had HIV, maybe you depended on scholarships because now you want to get rid of the border education, went to public school, right, were undocumented, right? All of these reasons, knowing this guy is literally the representation of white supremacy. The KKK supported this guy. He released the Project 2025 a whole year before the election. And we sat down, we told you what was gonna happen, and you still chose this guy. Okay? Just because he has conservative beliefs, the ones that your grandma and your parents were taught in Latin America, how did that work out for us? How much family trauma do we have for these conservative beliefs in South America and Latin America? A lot, right? A lot. So anytime we speak about liberalism, everybody should have access to healthcare. Everybody, should not be able to be discriminated against based on the color of his skin or his race. even if they have the same qualifications as their white counterpart. Like, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? I don't think so. But going back to the main topic of Latinos asking Black Americans to stand up for them and help them, and Black Americans are like, you chose that, that is your battle. I approve that message. I approve it. I know I might get flagged for saying this, but it's true. As Latinos, we need to take accountability for our actions. And yes, not all of us voted for that guy, but we need to address the ones that did, call them out, and correct and revalue ourselves. Because just because you do not agree with, I don't know, reproductive rights or the LGBTQ community, which Kamala Harris did, right? Maybe because you don't agree with that, doesn't mean that this other guy does. Right? Doesn't mean that he's a better option for you, because remember, you're still a person of color. And I know a lot of you light-skinned Latinos or white Latinos who, honestly, you're not white American passing. And even if you are and you have an accent like mine, as soon as you open that mouth, you're done. You're done. So I just want to let you guys know that we need to do something. And there's no one else to blame than us. Hope this helps.
So now you want Black people's help. So now you think that Black folks should stop what they're doing, i.e. protecting themselves, knowing that this president was going to do the things he did. Imagine that. Imagine being anti-Black for months and now acting as if Black people owe you to do a single thing you asked them for. Solidarity is not born of emotional extortion. It is born of individuals recognizing nuance and working together collectively, not being forced into a position, not being demanded to use their voice and body for your cause. So now that you, and I'm talking about accelerationists, yes, you cause colonizer, now that you have gotten what you wanted, what do you want from us? What thing is it that you think you can ask us for after your despicable display of anti-Blackness? What do you want? Kamala Harris didn't win. Stop talking about her. Doesn't matter. You got what you asked for. There is no solidarity to be had with a person that would rather destroy civil rights legislation fought for in this country through blood, sweat, tears, and lives by Black people and allies. Like, literally, you all have lost the plot. And if your cause is built on being anti-Black, I want no part of it. Some of you lack nuance. You fail to recognize that Black people in this country have been undergoing a genocide for almost 400 years. You fail to realize the additional Black genocides going on across the world. And so before you come to try to tell me anything about how the silence of Black people in this moment is deafening, I'd invite you to realize that when we used our voice and asked for your help, you were conveniently ignorant. So, good luck to you. May the odds be ever in your favor. Happy Black History Month.
I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out, especially the Black people.
A few moments later.
Oh, and since you want to learn Spanish so bad, tú eres una puta gorda que aparte de negra eres naca.
And it only took you 3 seconds flat for you to show your true colors after coming on this app and being a beggar, begging for help from the Black community. If you're going to call someone a fat Black WHO, don't cower behind a coded language. Say it to their face.
Black people, because y'all are quick to forget what country you guys fled to shelter when you were slaves. You're quick to forget when Black Lives Matters movement was happening, who was right there next to y'all.
I can guarantee that it wasn't you, boo-boo. Most of y'all like to parrot this one talking point about Mexico, but never talk about how slavery was abolished by a black indigenous president named Vicente Guerrero. He also helped liberate Mexico from Spain, but what did more conservative Mexicans do to their black indigenous president after they were done using him to gain liberation? They executed him because he was pushing for Afro-Indigenous equality. After Mexicans used him to gain their liberation, they backstabbed him, and it tracks to this day. Ma'am, the easiest, most effective thing that you can do to protect yourself and preserve your rights is to vote, and the Latino community couldn't even do that. Latinos largely voted for your own oppression, and now you have the audacity to think the black community is obligated to help you fix what you broke. Latinos, the call...
We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. You hear me? It's coming from inside the house.
Fix your own house, Latinos.
You know, this comment is very important, so I need y'all to read this. When the chips are down, you Latinos forget the support from the black folks. And I cannot agree with this creator more. The Latino community and its anti-blackness is strong, and it needs to be expelled from our community. We hate black people within our own communities, where Latinos, and I'm talking to Dominicans right now, my people, would say, oh no, I'm not black, I'm black white, or I'm Latino black. Whatever excuse to remove themselves from being African American, US black. The anti-blackness, the colorism in our community is so fucking toxic that is how white supremacists were able to split us up against each other, Latino against Latino, and also Latino against black Americans. And now we're seeing birthright citizenship being taken away, the 1965 Civil Rights Act being attacked. And what a lot of Latinos don't know is that the 1965 Civil Rights Act was also what gave a lot of immigrants like your parents the ability to actually become U.S. citizens. So birthright citizenship, a pathway to a status, was established, was given to us by the hard work of the black community. And when we were beneficiaries of all that great work that they did, what did the Latino community do? Spit in their face by voting for Trump, and now all that hard work is being wiped away. And that's right, Latinos did forget all of the support that black people gave us and helped us get to a place where our great-grandparents and our parents and then the children born today were able to be part of this country. And that's why I'm trying to work harder than ever to do two things. One, expel the anti-blackness in our community because, like I said before, we are black. And also trying to do my best to rebuild between Latinos and black Americans. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. Is there a lot of work to do on our part? Hell yes. But like I've said 1,000 times before, we are stronger together, and we need to stop doing the white supremacist work for.
Any Latino using this talking point that Latinos showed up for BLM should be embarrassed.
You're quick to forget when Black Lives Matters movement was happening, who was right there next to y'all.
This transactional attitude, as if Latinos did black people a favor, as if black people should be grateful. No. You showed up to BLM marches to march for yourselves against oppression that also affects Latinos. Latinos deal with almost the same injustices as black people do. Our prisons are disproportionately filled with brown people right alongside black people. Any civil rights wins by the black community is a win for Latinos and all other marginalized groups of people, whether you show up to a BLM march or not. So congratulations for showing up to a BLM protest to fight for your own rights. No one owes you anything.
Okay, so there's a lot of discourse right now around Latino content creators, Latino influencers that are choosing to stay silent during this time as our community is being targeted, as our community is being attacked. And I have to be honest and say that I am not surprised. And I'm not surprised for multiple reasons, which I want to go ahead and share with you. Leading up to November and what happened, I saw a lot of Latinos pop up and support him. A lot of Latinos say things like, well, my family came here legally, so everyone else should. I saw a lot of Latinos say things like, well, they're only targeting the criminals. When now you're hearing about reports of multiple people being rounded up or at least questioned that are not even criminals. You can look that up for yourself. I also heard of a lot of Latinos, frankly, just outright saying things like, it doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter to them because it's not impacting them. And that, y'all, is rooted in privilege. The ability to not care, or the choice, frankly, to not care about another group, especially of a marginalized group that is hurting, the ability to not care because it doesn't impact you, the ability to not care how the results went because it doesn't impact you, or you think it doesn't impact you, because we'll get there. There's privilege there. But what I also want to go ahead and mention, why I'm also not surprised that things went in this direction and now we find ourselves here. And now Latinos are like, oh my gosh, what? I didn't think that this would happen. Girl, bye. Like, we knew, and we tried to warn you, but here we are. Latinos, we have an anti-blackness issue in our community. I grew up with it. I grew up with family members who were not friendly towards black people or said things around darkness or blackness. There's machismo in our community that is still very rampant. This need to dominate over women. So machismo, racism, the disinformation and misinformation that is an issue in our community. So all of that together, I knew, and I said this months ago, that it would lead to, or it could lead to, people not voting for her. And here we freaking are, okay? So I'm not surprised. And also, internalized racism, the proximity or the need to feel like you want to be white, even though you will never be white. Never. It won't be a thing. All that comes together, and you have what we're going through now. So I'm not surprised. But if you do want to have conversations about this type of stuff, follow for more, because I'm down to talk.
Welcome back. Now, I love Latinos. I know that because way back I didn't know much about Latinos, but the more I have learned the history, I have two or three friends who are Latinos, and we share the talk, and I've learned a lot. And Latinos are not bad people. Of course, we have Afro-Latinos who they have the dark skin. We have Latinos who appreciate the effort of black people since way back. When we fought about the voting rights, we fought about the equality together, the Black Lives Matters, they were there. And even the things that are going on right now about the immigration is not the thing that black people are enjoying, because black people too are on the line of losing their rights or losing their state in the US, because we know as black people, they know very well that even Trump will come for them. So it's not that we hate you Latinos, or it's not that Latinos, we have anything against you. The one thing we have against you is that we have been telling you about these things. We have been telling you about what is going on. We have been telling you to support black people. But because some of Latino community people are white skin, and there is this colorism, and there is this narrative of that black people or dark skinned people are inferior and are less educated and they are terrorists, and all of that names. So these white Latinos have been trying to be far away from the black people, even from their own community, and to be near the colonizer. And that's what's affecting us. And that's what has affected the decisions that you made during election. But again, I will say, Latinos and black people have similarities from the struggle way back up to now. We have similarities. And one of the similarity is about historical struggles with racism and discrimination. When we talk about historical struggle with racism and discrimination, we talk about for example, when you talk on the black community side, is that in the US, black people have a long history of being enslaved, segregated, and marginalized. Following slavery, the legacy of discrimination continued in the laws that practices like Jim Crow, which enforced racial segregation. Even after civil rights movement in 1960s, systematic racism continued. It persisted in various forms, for example, including police brutality, economic inequality, and education disparities. So that is for black community. The similarity comes to in the Latino community, many Latinos, particularly Afro-Latinos, those who have the darker skin, those descendant with those of African descent, okay, within Latin America, they face the same experience of racism based on both their racial identity and their ethnic background. That's the similarity. Latino immigrants often encounter discrimination based on their immigration status, language, and cultural practices. Additionally, Afro-Latinos experience a specific form of racial discrimination that arises from their African heritage. There is something they have against African people. Yeah, there's something they have against African people. I think sometimes it's not just about the color. Because if it's just the color, this thing could have been ended. But there is something against African heritage because they know Africans, how strong they are, how rich they are. So the only thing to reduce their pace and to reduce their strength is to do what? To segregate and to... So there is a reason why this is going on. Maybe it's biblically. I'm not good in Bible, but maybe too it's biblically, like the Israelites had a lot, everything, the favor of God, but they are facing difficulties anywhere they will go. Everyone wanted to fight Israel. Okay? The difference again, we have cultural expression like music, dance, and art. Black community or Black Americans have deeply influenced global music, especially through genres like jazz, blues, gospel, soul, R&B, and hip-hop. Now, these musical forms emerged as act of cultural expression and resistance. Hip-hop in particular has become a worldwide phenomenon and represents the voice of marginalized youth. Now, in Latino community, Latin America is also incredibly diverse with genres such as salsa, merengue, is it merengue or merengue? We have reggaeton, we have cumbia and bachata, representing cultural resilience, joy, and the sense of belonging. So, many of these musical forms have roots in Africa. Have roots in African, indigenous, and European traditions, with African influence being especially significant in Caribbean and coastal Latin American countries. So we have cultural similarities. So the fight we are fighting is not the fight that needs to be our fight. We need to fight some things. We need to fight racism. We have a lot that is hindering our success. We have a lot. We have to fill the racial wealth gap between ourselves and other races. But we will not do that because we will end up fighting every day just because of my color. Why should we do that? Why? Just because of my color. It has been happening. Let me tell you. Back then in school, the students with lighter skin, they have these stereotypes that these students are very smart, educated, smart. Like there's nothing they can't do. Like even the teachers, wow, they used to favor them. And it created something in our mind that if you are lighter skin, you are the best candidate to win this. In schools, number 1 to number 3, preserved for lighter skins. So it was so hard for students with darker skin to achieve some things because we used to struggle so hard. You are facing colorism, oppositions from fellow students, the teachers, they don't like you, they'll tell you how black you are. So it is something that annoys us. Personally, me, I'm very annoyed to see that the people of darker skin, now let me not say black people, the people of darker skin are being discriminated. Leave alone discriminated by the white people, but even in our own community, someone will just come and say, you are very black like charcoal. You can't tell me anything with your black skin. It hurt me a lot. It hurts me a lot. I wish they could know how black is beautiful. I wish they could know how some people are very happy to see black people. I have content creators in China, Korea, some parts. People are so happy. They want to take photos. So I don't know what comes in their mind. People will celebrate you because you are black and they were taking photos with you with other mind because they'll say, oh, we have taken a photo with this black guy from negatively. You understand? There's some things I don't want to mention. But again, I see people being genuinely happy to see a black person. Just as Africans, we are happy to see. So it hurts me a lot to see that there is racism between the Latinos or black people. There is colorism between our own communities. We will never, never, never feel or reduce the gap, racial wealth gap between us and the other races. Will continue to be in poverty, and this will continue to fuel the white supremacy legacy, and this will continue the neo-colonialism, and we will never come out from this. So we have similarities between Latinos and black community. We don't need to fight. We really don't need to fight, okay? Because of our color, we don't need to fight. Both the communities of Latinos and Africa, Latinos and black people, they use music and dance as forms of resistance and celebration of identity. Hip-hop and reggaeton, for example, are often platforms of social community reflecting the experiences and struggle of black and Latino people in society. These art forms provide avenues for both celebration and activism. They use music to channel their grievances. In the other hand, too, the other type of social and some things, both communities, both groups, black people and Latinos, both groups are subject to racial and ethnic stereotyping and exclusion. Now, for instance, black people and Afro-Latino people often face challenges in terms of access of equal opportunities, with both experiencing higher rates of poverty, aggression, unemployment, and the struggle for racial justice unites both groups as they fight against similar system of inequality. So, if we divide ourselves, will we ever win? We will never win. We'll never win. Another similarities we have is strong families and community values. When you talk about strong family and community value, on the black community side, in many African American communities, family ties are extremely important. The importance of kinship and community support structure is central. You get that? With the extended families often playing a key role in child rearing and providing emotional support. Okay? Despite facing economic hardship and systematic obstacles, black families are often demonstrate immense strength and unity. On the Latino side, is that Latino culture places a strong emphasis on family, with a value placed on close knit extended families. Many Latinos live in multi-generational household, and families gathering are often frequent and important social connection. You can see in black families, we value families like family gathering, grandfather, great-grandfather, we have grandchildren, cousins, we meet, we are happy as families. Is same in Latinos and same in black people. Both cultures hold close family ties. Latinos and black, we all hold family ties, and this extend beyond the nuclear family to encompass extended family, where great-grandfather and even the community, we know who is from this tribe. This is our person, even if it's far away, like the blood is far, but we value that. Another thing that we have similarities is resistance and resilience. Now, history of black Americans is one of an incredible resilience. From slavery to the civil rights movement, black people have fought for their rights and freedom. Even today, movements like Black Lives Matters continue the legacy of resistance, advocating for the end of police brutality, racial profiling, and other forms of injustice. Same to Latino group. Latino communities, particularly those in the USA, the Latino Americans, have also had a fight for their rights. Not only the black, the Afro-Latinos, even the white Latinos. They have been fighting for their rights. These include battles for immigration reform, which is eating them up right now, languages rights, and equal education opportunities. For Afro-Latinos, there is double burden of fighting the racial equality. Yeah, in addition to opportunities. For Afro-Latinos, they have double fighting. Afro-Latinos are those of dark skin. Their battle is so heavy than the other Latinos, because Afro-Latinos, they fight for racial equality in addition to their ethnic identity, their own battle within the community. Okay. Additionally, many Latinos communities in Latin America have faced historical oppression from colonial powers, which they continue to resist. This is our similarities. It is the same thing and same oppressor. So we don't need to accuse each other. Latinos who are accusing black people for not supporting, it's not that we are not supporting. We are just reminding you. And I wish you could knew how black people loves you too. Latinos community, Afro-Latinos, they love you. Black people love people, I know that. So both communities, Latinos and Black Americans, share a history of the resilience in the face of adversity, whether it's through protesting racial injustice or demanding equal rights. Both communities continue to push for social change up to now. So we have that similarities. Another thing is shared struggles and economic justice. This is for both of them, and this is one of the things that's making Black Americans and Latinos need to stay so close, because the struggles will always or will only continuation of the racial generational gap to increase. You will not catch up with that. Black communities, the economic inequalities in black communities, educational disparities, and mass incarceration have been major issues affecting Black Americans. Despite progress, wealth gaps, housing discrimination, and unequal access to healthcare continue to affect the Black communities. Same to Latinos. Latino communities also face economic disparities, particularly among immigrant groups. And the fight for better access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities is for both of them. So both communities have worked for social justice and continue to fight for equality up to now. So that's why I'm saying that there's a unique aspect in each community, like culture, its community culture, history, and experiences. But they share the struggle with racism. They face oppression, both of them, Black and Latino. So both of them are like the same. That does not mean that we do not have to support each other, because the enemy here is not the Latino community. The enemy here is not the Black community. We are not your enemy and they are not our enemy. Unity here is all we want. It's like the video I did about Black Americans and Africans. Enmity is being created between them, that we don't need that enmity. So it's high time for Black people, high time for Latinos to accept that we have same oppressor, and the oppressor does not care or give a damn about us. What we need to do is to come together. Tell me what you think on the comment section. Until next episode, peace be with you.